do I hear that test starting? Alright, give me one sec. You know what? Let's just leave that there, just because. Okay, ladies and germs, here's that one comparison a lot of you may really be interested in. Today we are taking a look at none other than the iFi IDSD signature and comparing it to the iFi IDSD Diablo. Both are from iFi, both are portable powerhouses, but there's more at play that makes these different. Apart from the colorway, of course. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. So let's start this list off here with the contents. So these two actually differ quite a bit here. Let's get through this as quickly as possible. So what do they have in common? A female USB-A to male USB-A cable, a short male USB-C to male USB-A cable, a Toslink to mini Toslink optical adapter, a 3.5mm to 1/4 inch adapter, which I'm sure you've seen often, and their own instruction booklets and warranty cards. Now, exclusive to the signature, you get a short pair of dual RCA cables, a velour pouch for storage purposes, a pair of rubber bands to tie the unit to your music player, a rubber pad to place the unit on a surface, and a female USB-B to female USB-A adapter. Now, exclusive to the Diablo, you get the iFi iTraveler, which is a bit of a pouch here to go ahead and store your music player alongside some additional, cables and whatnot. And as you can see, there's a hole through the bottom, giggity. So you can just go ahead and just stick the wire out of there and, listen to it on the go. The iFi iPurifier 3, a device that reduces the jitter you may get from a USB connection, a Pentacon to 3-pin XLR cable, a wall wart with an interchangeable wall plug, all you gotta do is push it and it comes right out, and the adapter required to connect the wall wart to the Diablo. Now, the build and I/O of each device. So right off the bat, the Diablo has a little less flex on the chassis when I squeeze it. The signature features an angular design similar to iFi's older work, while the Diablo features a more modern, minimalistic design. Now, the biggest differences in terms of I/O offered are, the signature has a built-in filter switch, as you can see right there, a built-in gain switch for usage with ultra-sensitive drivers like IEMs, the X-Base toggle, the 3D Plus toggle, and dual RCA outputs. Now, the Diablo has none of that, but it does offer a single Pentacon output for sending a balance signal to another amp or another part of your chain. And now the biggest differences in I/O location are that the gain switch is located on the signature side, while it is located on the Diablo's front. Also, the USB-C charging port is located on the right side of the signature, while it is located on the Diablo's rear. Other than that, everything else is located within the same spot of each unit, including the headphone ports, the LED indicator, and the power gain knob, etc. And now let's talk about the amplification and, obviously, the sound quality. So as far as amplification is concerned, there's not much of a difference here. With the HD600s, I ran them at 1030 AM on normal gain on the Diablo and 1230 AM on eco gain. On the signature, I ran them at 1030 AM on normal gain and 1145 AM on eco gain. Now with the Arias, I ran them at 1030 AM on normal gain on the signature and eco gain at 12:30 p.m., while on the Diablo I ran them at 11 a.m. on normal gain and 12:30 p.m. on eco gain. So as you can see, there's not really a benefit in terms of gain. Both of these will run your headphones perfectly well. So, do they sound any different in terms of sound signature? Now in short, yes they do. The Diablo pushed the highs a tad forward, and I mean just a tad, emphasizing the cleanliness of instruments like cymbals. The signature, on the other hand, gives low-end instruments like kick drums a tiny more kick and slam to them. It's not like a massive difference, and I don't think your purchasing decision should be based solely on that. Now, there are a few little details that distinguish the signature from the Diablo when it comes to the sound itself, mainly being the X-Base toggle and the 3D Plus toggle. So to summarize, the X bass enables a bass shelf that elevates the area between the very bottom of the frequency response all the way into part of the mid bass, depending on which headphone you're listening to. This modification can either be a benefit or a detriment, depending on what headphones you're using and what genre of music you're listening to. So I'll just give you a quick example here. Pairing that feature with the HD600 proves to be detrimental because the HD600 already has a bit of warmth in the mid bass, so adding more to it just kind of kills the balance. Now on the other hand, pairing this feature with the HiFiMAN Aria proves to be beneficial because of the Aria's extremely capable planar drivers and incredible sub-bass extension. Now the 3D Plus feature modifies the soundstage and imaging to make it sound a bit more ample and make movement more prominent. And by movement I mean where the instrument travels or where footsteps lie in like a game, something like that. So with regards to music, I've mostly found this to be detrimental since it tends to mess with the mids and the highs in certain tracks. Being a bit of a purist myself, I just choose to leave it off. However, I did also try this out with certain games. This is where the 3D Plus functionality really starts to shine. It really brings a wow factor into most games you play, especially where your character's position affects where sounds are coming from. So if you go to the individual review of the iFi signature, you'll see a little bit of gameplay that I did back in Cyberpunk when Cyberpunk had recently come out. Love that game. Yeah, the bugs, but like, it's fantastic. It's so fun. The soundtrack is awesome. The characters are awesome, and Juan Wick, come on.
Where's your cute little
So yeah, you can go ahead and find a more in-depth review of those in the standalone signature review that's already up on my channel. I'll go ahead and place the link somewhere up here as well as in the comment section. If you're interested, you'll find it. Now, on the other hand, the first 1,000 units of the Diablo purchased will include the iPurifier 3, which eliminates jitter from your source when using USB as your input medium. So to summarize, this does improve the overall clarity and blackness of the sound, but it should only be considered as that last cherry on top of your audio chain. I'd only buy it separately if you're maxed out in terms of your, you've got your Summit Fi headphones, you've got your maxed out DAC with all of the inputs and outputs you want. You got your amp that's like high end. You've got your source files running FLAC, and again, the detailed explanation in the standalone Diablo review for those of you that are interested. Now, before we jump into that conclusion, let's go over some notes and observations here. If you recall from my standalone Diablo review, I mentioned that the sound levels got a bit wonky when using the Diablo with the iPurifier 3 in Premiere while editing my videos. It was a simple fix, just turn it off and on and it goes back to normal, but after disconnecting the purifier from the Diablo, the issue went away completely, or so I thought. So after the release of that video, during the testing process for this one, the Diablo did it again, but it shifted the majority of the sound backwards instead of just making it off balance. Again, just turn the unit on and off and you're good to go. While this is a bit concerning, the good news is that iFi should be able to fix this through an online update, considering this is most likely just a software issue. Still, not something I'd like to see from a device at this price point, but at least it has a fix. So to conclude, personally, this one's a no-brainer for me. The signature is a clear winner here. It delivers very clear audio with more than enough features, I/O capabilities, and power. It's easily endgame for the vast majority of people. It's the one device to buy other than the headphones and like a cable, if you need another cable, and you're done. Now, the Diablo, while it is a great unit, it simply just doesn't offer enough to justify its price point, especially when the signature exists. Now granted, it does offer a balanced pass-through as opposed to the signature's RCA pass-through, and for those of you fast enough to get it with the purifier, it may be worth something considering over the signature. Though this really only appeals to a very specific demographic. Also, the fact that it presented quite a bit of issues really turned me off from it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the signature. I've been using this thing for quite a few months in my living room setup. I know it's not ideal, but it's a nice device. You just turn it on and it's a preamp and you're good to go. Like I mentioned in the standalone review, it completely transformed my viewpoint on the HiFiMAN Arias and took them from being a meh headphone that I obtained for review purposes only to being something I'd pick up and listen to out of my own volition. And for a device to be able to do something like that, that's what makes a DAC amp a very unique and special piece of gear, as opposed to just one more item in your audio chain. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it. Once again, thank you very much to iFi for sending both of these out to me. And no, they didn't give them to me, they just lent them out to me. So all my opinions are completely my own. They have not requested anything at all, they just said, here are the units. Let us know what you think. Review them. And that's it. So, honest opinions. So thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate your views, and you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.